Good afternoon, Chaos. This is Kalatos, your friendly Legion's leader here. I'm here to do a review for one of our members in Rise of Chaos, Greenarrow. As you can see from looking at his screen here, he is a level 79, and he's looking for kind of advice on what direction to head as he gets closer to level 85. And this video could be very useful to a lot of you that are reaching that end game but not quite there yet. You'll probably have a pretty similar roster and you'll need some of the same characters. So I'm just going to dive right in and look at what he's got and see what we can do. We see he's using a Wedge and Biggs combo with Fives, Rex, and Old Daka for his arena squad. Old Daka seems an odd choice here, but with her stun and revive in the right places, she could be pretty useful. So not knowing what your shard looks like, it could definitely work better than some people would expect, since you probably don't have a ton of characters that have better synergy. But at level 79, you're probably still working on building up your Cantina node squads, your light side squads, and your dark side squads. So as long as it's the same as the last time I checked, and it looks mostly like it has, I would continue working on those rebels for your light side squad. Wedge and Biggs, Lando, Admiral Akbar, and Stormtrooper Han. They have a great synergy. They work really well together. As a group, they're very fast. And with Stormtrooper Han there, they gain even more speed. And Admiral Akbar works as a nice cleanser, and Wedge's lead is great for healing. If you want to switch in Rex for Admiral Akbar, you'd probably find some really good success there too. So for light side battles, I'd definitely stick with those rebels that you've got going on. For the dark side characters, got an interesting crew here. Looks pretty fun. I see that Daka is fairly new from the last time I checked, and you have unlocked Shore Trooper. So Shore Trooper could be pretty interesting. Going forward, if I were you, I would pick 5 of your top 8 characters and just keep working with them. I would recommend probably using an Emperor Palpatine lead. And that Palpatine lead does offer a lot of turn meter and health gain if you are using Imperial or Sith characters. So I would definitely keep Darth Vader and Count Dooku kind of in your rotation under an Emperor Palpatine lead. And for the final 2 to round it out, I would probably stick with Boba Fett, just because Boba Fett's execute is super powerful and his self-revive is awesome. However, if you want to use Old Daka in his place, her stuns could probably be just as useful. And then I would pick either Royal Guard or Shore Trooper and level them up as a tank for your dark side. It's going to be too much to do both, but if I were to pick an ideal group from what you've got, I would do Emperor Palpatine, Boba Fett, Shore Trooper, Darth Vader, and Count Dooku. Old Daka has kind of fallen to the wayside, though, like I said, her heals can be very useful and clutch at times. Royal Guard is never a bad choice as a tank, so you definitely want to kind of keep working him if you happen to have gear for him that doesn't work for anybody else. But those are my recommendations there. As for future farming, a lot of people like to go straight for what is my most epic arena squad possible. I would just say use the characters that you've got and make the best team, which either your full light side or full dark side team could work. And I would instead focus on characters that can get you all of the mods, because with such a variety of characters that all need different types of mods, you don't want to have only one or two types. You want to be able to have, you know, a tenacity set and potency set and that speed set, because they all come in useful, and at any given point you're going to want to use different sets. So in the Cantina, actually farming the Cantina nodes, I'd recommend 3 different characters for you. The first one is a super powerful Empire character that does well in raids, will probably do well in territory battles, and is ubiquitous in the Star Wars universe as well as ship battles. That character would be TIE Fighter Pilot. He's a fairly easy farm, he goes quick, and he's too good not to have on your roster to kind of grab when you need him to. I would continue to farm Royal Guard shards. He is useful, and like I said, he's a great tank to have kind of all the time. And lastly, in the Cantina, I would recommend starting to farm Ezra. Ezra Bridger is a super strong Jedi, a strong Rebel, and he's Phoenix Squad, so he will help you get Grand Admiral Thrawn. So you can't really start too early on farming him. So those are the 3 I would get for your Cantina nodes to farm. When you get those nodes, you're going to end up with a lot of Cantina tokens. I would recommend first finishing off your Ahsoka Tano. Very underrated attacker. She's not super useful until you get her to gear 11, but once you get there, her survivability goes through the roof, and she hits like a truck. Like, with the decent mods and the right group, she'll hit for 50k crits pretty regularly on characters that have defense down. Also, using your Cantina tokens, you would want to start farming Jawa Scavenger. Well, you already got Jawa Scavenger, so you read my mind. You must have finished him up since I looked. So, yeah, Ahsoka Tano with your Cantina tokens. And then after Ahsoka Tano, you might want to start working on First Order Officer, so you can eventually get those offense mods. From Guild War, there are 3 characters you really need to have using your Guild War tokens. The first one is Captain Phasma. You really need to have her as an option. Again, you want to get those offense mods at some point. Plus, her marching orders is pretty awesome in a lot of different groups, a lot of versatility. And you're also going to want to get any of the Jawas that are available in the Guild War. I believe both Dathcha and just plain old Jawa are there and available, so grab him when you can. For arena tokens, there's 2 people I'd recommend getting before you get any others. One of them being this other Jawa here, Chief Nebbit. You want to get him to at least 5 stars so you can get those critical damage mods. They are going to be the mods you use more than any other mod. And I'd also recommend getting Kanan Jarrus from the Arena Squad. Kanan Jarrus, which you may or may not have unlocked, he is just like Ezra, a solid enough Jedi. He is a rebel as well, and he is Phoenix, so it'll help you get Thrawn. You rebel Ezra and Thrawn, and you have 40% of the team you need to unlock Yoda, Emperor Palpatine, and Grand Admiral Thrawn. So those 2 serve lots and lots of purposes. From hard modes, if you do want to farm hard modes, just to get your dailies out of the way, Jawa, the plain Jawa himself, is available in hard nodes. You'll want to get him. You'll also want to start farming Rey, because those first order are needed for speed mods, and those obviously are going to come in useful. And Rey is available a lot in hard modes, so start working on her. Keep working on your first order TIE pilot, who I see you have unlocked, but he's only 1 star or 2 stars. Yes, just 1 star. So you can keep working on him out of hard modes. He's a very long and difficult grind, because you can only get him in hard modes, and you want to get him to 5 star. And the last one I would say working on hard modes is a Jedi. It'll be Jedi Knight Anakin. Jedi Knight Anakin is farmable in Cantina nodes, but you cannot get to those nodes yet, so you are better off farming him from the hard modes to start with. In the ship store, there are 2 characters you should probably focus on the most. One, just because he's amazing and everywhere, keep working on Chirrut. You will never regret having him, I promise you that. And along with Chirrut, one character does not share a space with him, so you're never going to compete, would be Sun Fac. Sun Fac was the meta tank probably 8 months to a year ago. He's a little bit less popular now, but his constant counterattacks and dispel on basic is still super helpful, and he has the highest protection rating of any character in the game prior to some of the newer releases. So he can definitely survive for a long time. Rise is rising up and doing some guilds. Doing some raids. So you should have a fair amount of guild tokens. Using those guild tokens, you're still going to want to continue to farm Rey out of there as well. It'll speed up the farming for her, so you can get her kind of done and out of the way quickly. And in the guild store, you're also going to want to work on the Jawa that you find in there, the Jawa Engineer. Jawa Engineer will be needed to get those critical damage mods, which are super necessary. And if you happen to build up your droids, Jawa Engineer is necessary for that kind of group. So those are my recommendations. Keep working on your Wedge and Biggs, Lando, Stormtrooper Han, and Admiral Akbar or Rex for your light side, Emperor Palpatine, Darth Vader, Shore Trooper, Boba Fett, and Count Dooku for your dark side. In the Cantina battles, farm TIE Fighter Pilot, Ezra, and Royal Guard. Using your Cantina tokens, farm Ahsoka Tano, and then First Order Officer. Your Guild War tokens use for Captain Phasma, Jawa, and Dathcha. Arena tokens, Kanan Jarrus and Chief Nebbit. Hard mode, you want to keep farming Jawas, Rey, First Order TIE Pilot, and Jedi Knight Anakin. In the ship store, you want to farm Chirrut and Sun Fac. And in the guild store, you want Jawa Engineer and Rey. Now, I know I talked pretty quick. I threw a lot of information at you, but those, 15 or 10 characters I mentioned first are not necessarily bad farms. You can get a lot of them done fairly quickly, and within a couple weeks you'll have most of them 7 star. Just stay focused, and with your extra resources you can get them, and by using your regular energy you can start gearing or continue to gear your light side and dark side, and then kind of branch out a little bit. Hopefully you're able to use this and it helps you quite a bit. For now, Chaos, this is Akautos saying goodbye and good luck.